Once again, good morning and welcome back. It's still Daybreak Africa, reaching you here from our studios in Ondo City, of course. I'm Ezekiel, Ogar. This morning we will be talking about holding leaders accountable in Nigeria, as earlier stated within Iron Binitie. Now with us in the house is Olorunfemi. Welcome on Daybreak Africa.
Good morning, Ezekiel.
It's so nice to have you.
The pleasure is mine.
Now, before we started, you actually told us that you're just coming in this early morning from Abuja.
Yes.
Can you give us a preview of your experience in terms of the present situation that Nigerians are going through? We have an understanding from this side, from Ondo. While you were there, could you let us, take a peek into your experience in terms of the activity going on there?
Yes, when you look at, firstly, before we used to travel by road, but nowadays with the security report in Nigeria, people will tell you that it is better you go by here rather than go by road. At the end of the day, pay huge amount of money to buy it. I could remember years back, if I want to go to Abuja, I go by roads. You understand now, see a lot of things on the road, and but I think now you just have to have a rethink now that just go by here. And I think again, I think the issue of insecurity in Abuja now has been put abated. Some months back in Abuja, it was the issue of kidnapping, all this one chance of people, and so on and so forth. In fact, it got to a point people were talking about, is Abuja now safe now? In fact, I do tell people that those who are living in Abuja, if you are living outside the 3-arm zone in Abuja, they tell you that you are your home. Exactly. But when you are living within the 3-arm zone in Abuja, you can be rest assured that your security is well. But let's give kudos now to the sitting sitting minister of FCT now. I think they are trying to put things in order now. I think work is going on in Abuja. Was it last 2 or 3 weeks now? It was before the Senate Committee of FCT tried to defend its 2024 budget, and I think he said something significant that can Senate Committee on FCT try to give him that power so that within his prerogative he will also be spending his security vote the way our state governors are spending their security vote, in such a way that you will have the power and everything just to spend it the way you like, in such a way that you sit as a sitting minister of FCT, you believe that no, I need to spend my security vote on this particular area or this particular area. But by and large, I think the work is going on at the FCT in Abuja. When we're talking about Nigeria, we talk about the FCT, and in fact, the concern is very clear that the seat of power, at least you have to develop the seat of power, and we know that Abuja is our central seat of power. But the issue of security, I think those one has been put a bit, because some weeks back, months back, the Commissioner of Police, in conjunction with the Honorable Minister of FCT, don't forget that recently the FCT had a press conference with journalists trying to update them about what's going on in Abuja. I think by and large, I think what is going on in Abuja, and that's what we're expecting, that at least as a federal capital territory, at least there must be this kind of assurance that when you are going to Abuja, you are going to I'm safe. So there shouldn't be so there should be any kind of apprehension that I'm going now. I don't know whether I will come back again. But but I believe that more work needs to be done in Abuja. So what we are looking and projecting, we want to see Abuja that will look by and so on and so forth. So by and large, but I think that people are looking for miss now. People are not going by road again. You see people going by road, but now
more
people
by air.
And guess what now? This air field now is not laughing. It's not laughing.
No, it's not for the lily-livered.
Not laughing like before now, you understand now. Yes. But I think we are making progress.
Now, this morning we tend to talk about the obligations of citizens, in holding leaders accountable. But my quarrel this morning has been the fact of should I say, ignorance when it comes to the responsibilities, of our leaders. Sometimes we tend to we know we have House of Rep member, we know we have senators, but we do not know exactly what they do. And in that case, I don't think it's really right in context. Actually, it's more like to say we the citizens tend to share blame when it comes to not holding leaders accountable in respect of not actually knowing the responsibility or even knowing who exactly is in charge. Now, I attest to you and I submit to you this morning that just so many persons, still in school, suffering from this ASU strike issue, has no idea who the Minister of Education is, as funny as it may seem. Now, and then we want we want to hold people accountable.
Well, Ezekiel, let me start from where you said that many people don't even know who is the current Minister of Education. Don't forget that since 1999, returning to this Fourth Republic, this first time we'll be having a big cabinet of Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think President Muhammadu Buhari, when he was coming in 2019, in 2015, he tried just to maximize our economy. He came with only 36 federal ministers, including that of Abuja. But when he was coming in 2019, he expanded the cabinet again to around 40-something. But when Mr. Milokan was coming, you understand that he doubled now expanding the cabinet to around 40-something ministers. And so I can't blame Nigerians who don't know who Honorable Minister of Education is. I don't want you to ask me. You understand that? Because I don't. So I'm saying it ahead now. I can tell you that a lot of Nigerians cannot even sit to tell you 10 ministers offhand. 10 ministers offhand because of the size of the cabinet. So when you have a larger size of the cabinet, it's possible to be difficult for you now to say that, okay, this honorable minister of so, minister of so, and minister of so. But on the issue of holding our leaders now to account now, I think when you look at the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will not talk without going into what the law says. You say that the power lies in the hands of the citizen. I've said it and I'll continue to say it. No matter the office you are vying for, whether the office of a councillor or a chairman, House of Assembly, governor, blah, blah, down to Abuja, you can't assume that office without people coming to poll and elect to that particular office. That's what democracy is talking about. So it shows that power lies in the hands of the citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But guess what? Our politicians, they are very smart, Ezekiel. You understand? Because when they get there, they tend to do things that will dissuade your mind in such a way that for you to say that I want to hold them to account, in fact, you will have that in your mind. Not until when we are approaching another cycle of election. For example, now, Ondo and Edo, they are approaching another gubernatorial elections now. Now you ask yourself that, does it mean that people are just waking up in Edo and Ondo trying to say that we need kind of leader, we need kind of governor, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the day, by the time they have that particular candidate or particular person as their governor, in the next 4 years, you will see them say nothing again, continue with their normal life. Whether government is coming up with a policy that is palatable or not palatable, the only thing they will do, murmur, and at the end of the day, they move forward. So the problem is that it is only when we are approaching another election cycle that you see people tend to be waking up from their slumber after 3.5 years, trying to say that we need this kind of leader, we want you to talk to us, and so on and so forth. Holding leaders to account is supposed to be a routine thing, Ezekiel. And where we are missing it as citizens is that how many of we citizens truly know our budget? Maybe for those states now. Can you call anybody or can you go to town or sample opinion on people that what is the year appropriation being in those states? How many people can tell you the exact figure? So when you tend to follow the budget, then you know what each ministry, what they want to embark on this particular year. Then your lawmakers, you have to know, you have to follow the activities. That's what I'm saying. See, it is not when you want to get something from these politicians that you run to them, you ask them something. Ask them questions, manifestos. How many citizens, Ezekiel, are saving manifestos of each political party? There's no candidate when you do an election that will not have a manifesto, whether printed one, verbal one on social media. Are we saving them in such a way that after by the time you are now in office, can I bring them out? Okay, Ezekiel, when you were running for office, you came to our area, you campaigned that this is what you are going to do. How many of these particular items you've been able to achieve in the last 1 year in office? Those are the things that citizens need to imbibe in such a way that it will be easy for you to know your to hold your leader to account. Now, if Sam as a citizen now, I don't even know the manifesto of my lawmaker. I'm not talking about federal, state lawmaker. When he was going there, I don't have his manifesto. I'm not following his activities at the assembly. It will be difficult for me, Ezekiel, to hold him to account. But when he was campaigning in 2023, let's assume that I have his manifesto, all areas that he touched, I happen to know everything. Then at the end of the day, I can question him. When you were coming in 2023, you told us that you are going to do this, you are going to do this, you are going to do that. How many of them have you been able to achieve? Then if I cannot do that, let's wait for the next 4 years. By the time you become in the next 4 years, I've never seen any politician, whether you have money or don't have money, they have to go out and campaign. So in the next 4 years, maybe you are back now, you are campaigning. The first thing I'm supposed to ask you, Ezekiel, is that in the last 4 years, tell us your achievements. That's how to hold leader to account. In the last 4 years that you've been there, tell us what you've been able to achieve in such a way that will make me to say that, okay, you have my vote once again to go back. But our citizens are not doing that, Ezekiel. And I can't blame the politicians. I would rather blame our citizens. Then again, how educated are our citizens to know
just
what is going on?
Just go into education, you're talking about transparency, and then you tend to actually lay blame on the citizens and not the government. At that point, I really tend to question that fact. Now, if you ask me, I know for the fact, citizens have always been asking questions. Question as to, from the issue of subsidy already, where is this money being channeled to, for the fact, he said he wanted to get the money from subsidy, so as to channel it into other sectors. We kept asking, where is this money going to? No one can actually say a thing or two. When it comes to the dollar rate and compared to, citizens have always been asking. But in part of government, we totally lack what we call transparency. So you can't really attack on transparency on citizens.
Ezekiel, those questions you are talking about, they are in abstract. I'm telling you, those questions that citizens are asking, they are abstract.
So what? Can you explain what you mean by that?
When you are asking a general question, I have a lawmaker representing at the state level. I have 2 federal lawmakers, 1 federal House of Representatives, 1 at the Senate. I have the sitting governor. I have some commissioners that are representing me. Now, when you are saying that, what is government doing with our money? It's a question in the abstract. But can we gather together in Ondo Town here, citizen? Let's come together. Let's invite our lawmakers. That's how to ask questions, Ezekiel. You can't sit on social media asking that, what are you doing with our money? You can't be typing on X that what is dollar to naira now. That's an abstract. Nobody will answer you, Ezekiel. But direct your question to your representatives. Direct your questions to those who came to you in the last year now, who came to you seeking your vote. Gather them together. There's nothing wrong, Ezekiel. Now, for clarity, in each community, it's like we have this youth organization, youth groups, and so on and so forth. Can we write a letter, a comprehensive letter to our lawmaker representing us? We have a date with you. Can you come for a town hall meeting? That's what is going in developing countries, Ezekiel. In developing countries, they bring their leaders to them. We need to answer this question. They bring them together. They organize a day. You have to come to our midst. We want to ask you a question. Not that just go anywhere and start asking questions. That's something that we are asking questions that abstract. So let's call them. They were with us when they were campaigning. They called us, isn't it? Because when they want to come for a campaign, they will tell you that at a particular time, we'll be coming to your location, isn't it, to campaign. This is everybody will gather. You said that you see them eloquently speaking that they will build bridges where we know that automatically they can't build bridges. They will tell you that they will build transformer, that at the end of the day, nothing like transformer. They will tell you that they will build roads, at the end of the day, no roads. Can we bring them together again? If they brought us together when they were campaigning, can we now bring, because we have the power now. And that is what we need to be doing as citizens. Not like I'm shifting the blame to citizens. I don't shifting the blame because politicians, after electing them, they go to office, they have you neglected. Not on the next 3.5 years. By the time they will come again, telling you that they were so busy doing work. Now you say you're busy for 3.5 years. Show us. So that's something that we should stop asking questions in an abstract. Let's bring them home. Let them come and sit with us in the town hall meeting. Ask them questions. Sorry, that's why I said that I'm not a fan of this campaign rally. I'm a fan of debate. When you want to go for any elective office, I heard this daboni move from one place to another. It's a distraction because majority of these campaign rallies, they are just attacking opponents. I've covered many campaign rallies as a journalist. What you hear on podium is attacking your opponent. But when you go for debate, Ezekiel, you don't have room to attack your opponent too. It is you and your brain and your vision and your mission and your manifesto. So can we bring them back again, Ezekiel? And when you are bringing them back, you bring them in such a way that you are not bringing them back to address the elite in the society. You are bringing them back to address the layman, the market men and women that are elderly ones. Because anytime we go on election day, we tend to see these people on the queue to vote. How many elite normally go out on the election day to vote. So that's why that we should stop asking questions in an abstract of our politician. Bring them home. See, Ezekiel, you write a letter to your lawmaker, you want you to come back home and come and give us account. It did not come. Second letter, third letter. I'm telling you that if such lawmaker is seeking re-election, it will be very difficult for him to come and campaign again. Because you will remind him that you've been invited 3 times to come and explain, to come and give us account. You not come. So that's what, and politicians, they are just leveraging on that. You understand that these people will not ask any question. The next time they will ask question is when the election is coming.
Now, let me talking about leveraging. Now, the concept of a democratic governance,
yes,
modestly presupposes 3 essential elements, which include accountability,
yes,
transparency, and of course, carrying people, or the people you say you're ruling, which is equality.
Yes.
You know, those are the 3 concepts: accountability, transparency, and of course, equality. Now, is it not true that in a democratic setting, if you come under such a role as the elected, you should know deep down in your hearts that you are supposed to be accountable for those who elected you into power? Because following what you've said right now, you did, you know, take a little blame from the citizens while saying that those elected ought to know what they need to do.
Exactly.
Now, in a democratic setting, as one elected, what should be your attitude in terms of accountability?
On the issue of accountability, they will tell you that by the time they will be coming the next 3 years to seek re-election, is then they will start telling you what they've done in office for the past 3.5 years. And I've said that we should stop waiting for that particular time. It's too long. We can't be waiting for 3.5 years or 4 years before you ask your leader what they've done in office. See, let me tell you, it is very simple. If I'm a leader, I got elected to a particular political office last year, I'm a citizen who elected me, who have the power to even remove me and not ask any question, are not even putting me on my toes. They are not even asking me, how far have you gone, Sam? In this particular office, we got to elected last year. You know, I will just keep calm. I will believe that everything is going everything is going well. Then in the next 3.5 years or 4 years, by the time I will be coming, then I will tell them, in the so year, I've done it. Not that I'm not here to support any political office holder. But what I'm saying in essence is that on the issue of being accountable to their citizens, they will tell you that in the next maybe 4.5 years or 3 years, they will come back tell you what they've done. But we shouldn't be waiting for that particular time. It's so long for us. So all of them, there's no politician that will ask that will not tell you that he's not accountable to his people. They will tell you that they are highly accountable. In fact, most of them will tell you that all my activities go on my social media. You will see what I'm doing. I visited to a particular place, I put it on my X, and so on and so forth. Some will tell you that go to my Facebook account, you see what I'm doing there. And so they are trying to use that to tell you that, well, we've been accountable to you. But what I'm saying is that if truly you want to hold your leader to account, it should go beyond what we see on social media. Don't forget that before, how many politicians were on social media? But now virtually all of them now are on social media. You see everything on social media, you follow them on X and so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is that on the issue of being accountable, they will tell you that where they are doing this, they are doing that. But we want a kind of a real accountability nowadays, whereby at the end of maybe every 2 years or a year in office, you come back and you tell your people that this is what I've been able to do. This is what I've been. In fact, as a matter of fact, all these lawmakers, you know, we tend to put the blame on the lawmaker, and I quite agree with that. But lawmakers, you know that they are very smart. They will tell you that their own primary assignment is to make law, not to build rules, not to build hospitals, not to build schools, because under Section 4 of the Constitution is very clear. That's where we have the responsibility of the legislative arm of government. When you go further, it talks about State House of Assembly. Section 5 talks about the executive, that's executive power of the president and the governor. 6 talks about the judiciary. 7 talks about the local government. So on the closest leaders that we have that we can easily interact with are the lawmakers. You say, no, governor is a governor of a state. It's not a governor of a local government. But you have lawmakers. In fact, right from the local government level, there's what we call a councillor that is representing your ward. That is fact. You don't need to go to Abuja before you see him. In fact, a transport fare will take you to his office. Then apart from that, there's what we call a state lawmaker. That is all these state lawmakers of assembly representing your constituency. Then you have what we call a federal lawmaker. That is House of Representatives from 2 or 3 local government, depending on the composition of the local government. Then you have senators. No, senator will tell you that is not only accountable to the local government, that is accountable to all the local government under his senatorial district. So what I'm saying is that if truly we want these people to be more accountable to us, it is time for us now to start calling them back home. Come and explain what you've been able to do in office in the last 3 years or 1 year. So we should not be waiting, because when you're talking about being accountable, they tell you that they are always accountable to their people. They will tell you that they've done this, they've done that. That's why I say that we are asking questions in an abstract from these our lawmakers, from these our leaders. Let's begin to sit and ask them a critical question on the issue that you raised, on the issue of what are they doing with the money from fuel subsidy. Don't forget that this issue came up recently when Mr. President met all the state governors. He told them that the federal allocation to each state has increased, and many citizens at the various states are asking their governors now allocation to each state now after removing fuel, subsidy payment on fuel. Allocation to each state has increased now. So how many citizens in each state, Ezekiel, are asking their governors through the Commissioner for Finance? I've never seen any government without Commissioner for Finance. So Commissioner for Finance is one responsible for inflow and outflow of money spent in government. So can we ask our governor the question that money that has been increased, what have you been able to do with this particular money?
Now, Sam, please, I want to ask this question now.
Yes.
Now, the practical operation of democratic governance implies that government be very open in all its activity to its people without waiting for the people to ask what they're doing with the monies that are given to them. We're talking about actions, we're talking about choices, we're talking about activities of government. Democratic operation of governance says be open and transparent.
Exactly.
Why do you think it is difficult in this instance from your own perspective? I've never asked you this question before. So for the purpose of this discourse, why is it difficult for democratic operation of governance, which stipulates openness? Why does it appear to be something that is near impossible in Nigeria, in your opinion?
The problem has been there for a very long time. And you know, when I was talking, I made mention that in government, every year you see government, whether at the federal level, state level, or local government level, table their appropriation bill for the year, how they want to run government in that particular year, what they want to spend, what they want to do in terms of capital expenditure, recurrent expenditure, what they want to buy, and at the end of the day, they present it so that they tell people that this particular year we're spending so amount of money in our state, and they now divide the money according to ministry, maybe Ministry of Health, this amount of money we are putting in Ministry of Health, these are the things. No, all these things borders down to the issue of appropriation be the budget. Now on the issue of the question you asked, that government or our leaders don't need to be pushed before they come back to people and just being accountable to the people, that transparent, okay, in the last 2 years we've been able to do this, we've been able to do that. See, when with full respect to our citizens, when you have citizens who are somehow showing, let me say, I want to be a little bit circumspect here now, who are so, okay, let me use the word I don't care attitude. No, I don't want to show the watcher like that. I don't care attitude to, you know, I've had a lot of people say that let them be do whatever they like in government. They are the one that know whatever they do, let them do it. It shouldn't be like that. If they fail, we know that automatically we are not supposed to be pushing them to come and account to us, to come and tell us, and so on and so forth, whether a government from the Ministry of Finance or Commissioner for Information, that this is what our government is doing, this is what we've been able to put in place. In the next 2 or 3 years, we are banking on this particular project. It turns out the government is not doing that because they've sampled the opinions of the citizens. They've seen that the general citizens are the one that they only wake up when elections are coming. After elections, they go back to sleep, and whatever you throw at them, they cash it, they murmur, and they go away. Not until after the next election. That is why you see that there's something common in Nigeria, and I stand corrected that we may build up to a next election. You see some governors rolling out recruitment process that they want to recruit, they want to do this. Some of them you see them going, grading roles, and so on, doing a project as if they were not alive in the last 3.5 years. Pushing, they believe that all those things will be able to doing the citizen, believing that citizen will believe that they are doing work. But in a real democratic system of government, where government works, where democracy is the bedrock of what we are passing today, government is supposed to be coming out quarterly. In fact, I was saying something that I'm yet to see governors in Nigeria that will be coming out quarterly to address their people. Just have a program that, okay, in every 4 months, we'll be coming out to tell the people where we are, what we've done, and what we intend to do. I think they normally call it what we call a media chat. In such a way that you have the opportunity to ask your governor or to ask your representative a question. These are the things that are expected from our leaders. But when they are not doing it, citizens are not even as well helping the matter. Not until the next election where they will come out and be piling up things in such a way that it will be very difficult for people to do what, to say that no, you've not been doing it. So in that particular aspect, from the part of government, is what we are expecting in this democratic dispensation, in such a way that government will not be pushed. It's like government are waiting for people that will push them to work. Government are waiting for citizens that will stand on their toes. We need you to say this. And in as much, citizens are not saying that, the government is even relaxing, enjoying themselves. Not until when some civil society will come out and do a particular, or some groups will come out and do this. And I think if you allow me to say that, I think we need to give some kudos to Serap. You know, that something that will happen in this country where Serap will come out, that we don't take this, we don't take that. If the government will not reverse the action, we are taking government to court. So that is what we are saying, that government as well, they know the right thing to do, but they believe that citizens don't, since they are not even showing any kind of concern, then can we even just continue to enjoy ourselves till the next election? So that's what I'm saying, that from the part of citizens, we have a lot of work to do in holding our leaders to account. We will not, I don't want to say that we will not allow them to rest. We allow them to rest, but in terms of giving us, that's what we call a feedback mechanism. You should know, communication must not be a one-way channel, must be a two-way channel, in such a way that you give, then I take. No, we've given them the opportunity to go and serve us. Now, what we are expecting from them now is to give us the feedback in such a way that, okay, we've been able to do this. Carry your people along. Let people know what is going on in government. Like I used to say, in fact, I used to tell my friends who are active in the media that one of the problems that we have today between the citizens and the government is that government believe that not until they ask questions, we will not give them what they're supposed to know. But in a normal trend, in a sane society, you don't need to wait till they ask questions. Let them be updated about what is going on in government. Like I said, how many government, state government today can come out to say that, okay, in every 2 months or in every 3 months, this is how we give our citizens feedback of what is going on. But all of them now, they've decided into social media. You know, when you go to social media now, you know, everybody that are following their governors on social media now, you tend to see that, in fact, some people will not even know that a particular project is going on in their state, not until they see it on the social media of their governors. Then they start, and there's no how you will ask questions on social media. These politicians will not answer you. I was once a media aide to politicians. You will ask questions till their kingdom come, they will shut you, not to answer any question there. So it's like citizens, they've resorted into what we see on social media is what we use to judge you that you are working. So all these leaders now, even they realize that, okay, is that what you need? We continue to push out on social media for you guys to see what is going on.
You actually spoken a lot when it comes to transparency. Let's go into our open data initiative. Universities could actually access information as to budget, contracts and our public expenditure, even down to our anti-corruption agencies. You know, there are situations where, especially, people don't actually have no idea what's going on with the Evans case anymore. Nobody know what happened, where it stopped, and we have no info as to that.
We have a lot of criminal cases now that people don't even know what is going on again.
And even our very own, the current incident with MFL. Nobody is actually understanding where we are right now.
But please permit me. I think we should shift this blame on the media.
The media?
So? Yes, actually, on the media.
Why?
Good, because the thing is that when something happens, you see media going there. In fact, you see 3 media houses, 4 radio stations, and so on and so forth, putting them on their breaking news on social media, generating traffic. At the end of the day, attention diverted to another issue.
Because they are always pressing issues daily when it comes
on
to
Section
situations.
22. Section 22 of the Nigerian 1999 Constitution as amended is very clear that the media shall always hold government to account. One is the Constitution. So media are supposed to be the middleman between the government and the citizens.
Well, kudos to KAFTAN TV and
when Evan was arrested in Lagos, we got to know through media. A lot of things that we got to know through media. The question is what happened? After years, 2 years, 3 months, media tend to shift away to another thing. So that is that in some instances, we hold media. You say, I want to say I'm holding media, I'm holding you.
Like I said, kudos to KAFTAN TV because I'm talking about it right now.
You are doing right now. But I think media needs to do more. What about Emefiele? How many TV stations now are still talking about Emefiele? How many of them are still capturing Emefiele in their main bulletin for people to know what is going on? How many TV stations are putting it on their social media handles for people to know what is going on? Now, we've diverted attention now to the issue of naira to dollar. Nobody's talking again. Is it Sam that we go and defend out what is going on with the Emefiele? But media has
responsibility. Ask questions and you don't get answers. When the media asks questions,
media should keep pushing. Media should keep pushing because media has a right.
Gets distorted. What you hear in the morning is not what you hear in the afternoon.
That is where.
What do you do about that?
That is where investigative journalism comes in. I've been a journalist since 2013, Ezekiel, so I understand the process very well. That is where investigative journalism comes in. You can never see a government that will be open to you, Ezekiel, as a media. They tend to hide some things for you as a media, but go on investigative journalism. Then you uncover, you unravel what they think that is hidden. That's why I say that we want me that one.
We're talking about open data initiative, but let's talk a little about journalism. You're a journalist, I see. Yourself. What is your take as to the freedom given to journalists in this nation?
Well, Ezekiel, I think the freedom given to journalism or journalists in Nigeria is not 100%. It's not 100%, and it's not.
You actually had access to that. Okay, so you know for the fact the media actually doing their very best.
Exactly.
Okay, right,
and we must give kudos to the media. I'm not here to denigrate the activities of the media. They are doing excellently well. But what I'm saying is that government will not allow media to penetrate. It is the media that will use what government doesn't know to penetrate the government so that they tell the citizens what is going on. Let me tell you, Ezekiel, we have some people that they rely so much on media. What they hear in media is what they will believe. I'm telling you. We have some people that they on their TV, they listen to KAFTAN television, they on their radio, this transistor, they listen to radio. So they believe they have this particular hope in the media, but that what we don't know is the media that will let us to know. So on the issue of I think was it last time when we were celebrating Press Freedom Day, I was here. Talked about how government is treating journalists in this country. In fact, we're in this country when a particular government try to gag the media. We're in this country when a particular assembly, I don't want to use whether 10th or 7th assembly, trying to pass what we call a social media regulation bill in such a way that you don't have right to say. And under our law, Ezekiel, under chapter 4 is very clear. Freedom of information. You say now, go out to the. But what we are facing in the media now is this infiltration of all professionals. In the media, some people believe that the moment they have smartphones, they sit at the corner of their rooms, they just pull out any information, whether fake, whether real, and go on. I used to tell people that the genocide that happened in 1994 was a result of fake news, Ezekiel. So I think government needs to do a lot to give the media free. I used to say that if I occupy any political office today now, my number one priority will be media. I'm telling you, my number priority will be
probably based on sentiment.
will be the media, because see, media are the big tools that can drive, build, and rebuild the nation. Ezekiel. Now, ask yourself a question: why is it that during electoral campaign and so on and so forth, you see these people go to the media, projecting their image and so on and so forth? We believe so much in the media, but Nigeria, what I say that government should please give the free hand to the media to operate. In fact, we've seen cases. Let me say that I can say it. When President Muhammadu Buhari, go and do your research. When he got elected in 2015, he told a particular TV station not to cover his activities. I don't want to present this station. He told a particular activity station, he gave warning. He told him, "No, this is democracy. This is not 1983. When you were there now, they had the right to cover your event." And don't forget that today, let me tell you today, we see some government that they will tell their officials, don't go to that media house for any interview. When they write to you, tell them that you are busy. That's why you see that in some TV stations, you can never see any government officials coming.
Now, Sam, I want to ask you, is accountability an impediment to those in power? Because from what you're saying, is accountability an impediment to those in power? Because a lot of people have argued, people have had conversations with, that it appears to be so, that those in power see accountability as an impediment. Like you talking about giving us an example with the former president of the country. And a lot of people hold that same sentiment. Don't follow me here, don't ask me here, don't do this, don't do that.
Yes.
Even if that is the right of the media to give information to the people, not just locally, but internationally and of course globally, is accountability an impediment to being in power?
It's not supposed to be, but it's like our leaders in Nigeria are making it to be like that. And accountability is supposed to be an easy thing. Allow people to come, be open-minded. That's what we call an open-minded. Be open-minded. Let people know what you are doing. Now, for example, like what you said now. For example, now, when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, when he removed the fuel subsidy, people started talking, and a palliative was ruled out by state government. How many of the state governors today can give account of the palliative given during that particular time? How many of the state commissioners
giving details?
Yes. How many commissioners, whether serving, whether serving or left, can come out so that when I was as the commissioner for finance in this state during palliative, we got this amount of money from the federal government.
We disburse this amount.
We disburse this now, and we ensure that this palliative reached those who supposed to get it.
With figures.
With figures, plain figures. So it's like our leaders are making it, and that's why people are talking about the issue of corruption. You see now that when you are playing, when you are open-minded, when you are running, and there's what we call an exclusive government, such a way that everybody will be part of your government. The government will not be within, will be outside. You allow your people to contribute. You allow your people to have a say in your government, in such a way that I can sit here and write the state governor that, Mr. Governor, the last allocation to Ondo State, how did you spend it? You see now, the governor will say, okay, Commissioner for Finance, can you please explain to him how the last allocation was spent in Ondo State? But our leaders, it's like the idea of accountability is just like it's just like a disease to them, that they want it to come close to them. And that is how you can run a government, a transparent government that people will show that truly this is our leader. Leader goes beyond that you are a leader. When you want to show that you are a leader, let people know what you are doing, the amount of money. Now there was a time we were talking about how much our lawmakers, how much are they collecting? That was generated national union that we don't know how much money they are collecting. We want to know the amount of money they are collecting. Guess what? The director went to RANFAC that would go and make RANFAC. The RANFAC will be the one to tell us the amount of money they are collecting. So I think accountability is supposed to be the watchword. Supposed to be the watchword of our leaders. This is how we are getting. This is how much we are getting. This is how much we spend. This is how we tend to spend the remaining money. And each time you have government about how money is being spent, they see you as the enemy. You write an article that okay, so amount of money was given to Ondo State. I'm just using it as an example. Was given to Ondo State. We don't know how far that money, Mr. Governor, through the Ministry of Finance. Can we know the following day you start seeing a lot of things from the government? Try to tell you that I want to blackmail the government and so on and so forth. So until we get to that particular level, whereby government will not be pushed, whereby government will be the one coming out first to tell you that this amount of money we do this. Up to today now, we don't know how governors are spending their security vote. Up to today, and that's the accountability we are talking about. Can you tell us how you are spending the money meant to secure lives and property of your people? How are you spending the money to your people? So to me, I quite agree with you that this issue of accountability is just like a impediment to our leader. So until we get to that particular level, whereby everything will be openly minded. Then we tend to say
So
that
with
we are
all
going
this,
to
with all these multi-challenges you tend to actually go through, it's more like we have no a system or a structure put in place, for checks and balances in this country. It's more like everything goes, and it's more like at some point, maybe it say we should actually look just beyond our.
Ezekiel, we have a system, but system we have is being controlled by the government. That's what we are saying. We need to have a system that highly independent, in such a way that.
And does that include the judicial arm of the government?
The primary responsibility of judiciary now is interpretation of law. That is the primary purpose of judiciary. Those who are supposed to be helping us, our lawmakers, because they are the one that will go on oversight. If I'm a lawmaker, if 3 of us are lawmakers, it's possible for us not to be in the same committee. Whether, for example, whether I'm in committee of chairman committee of agriculture, you are chairman committee of information, she's chairman committee of finance. She's supposed to go out to the ministry of finance. Let's see what you are doing in this ministry. The money budgeted for you last year, how far is the money? So they are supposed, and that's why we call them our lawmakers. They are the voice of the masses. They are supposed to be the one doing this for us, then feeding their constituents back. This is what is going on in government. Judiciary is just to interpret law, Ezekiel. When we have mix-up of law, that is the role, and that's why we have them at the last arm of government. When we're talking about 3 arms of government, you talk about the executive, the legislature, then you talk about the judiciary. Executive, that they are the one that will execute a project. Then legislature, they are the one to implement.
Does that mean they are free from external influence? Does that mean they are free from external influence?
Well, Ezekiel, you see, when you're talking about whether they are free from external influence, recently now, we're told that the salary of this Nigeria will be around 50 something million. In such a way that if Ezekiel is having a case in court now, Ezekiel will not go with all these big. So that in such a way that people coming will not be able to buy your consent, so that at least they'll tell you that if they are coming with 1 naira, tell them that you are collecting 5 naira, so your 1 naira is insignificant now in my purse. So I think until we raise the bar, but that will not be the solution. To me, the total solution is the issue of appointing, I've said it here, Chief Justice of Nigeria. We need to take it totally outside the purview of the president. Like I said, that there's a say that, okay, who called the pipers?
Yes.
It is 32. So if president is the one appointing Jesus of Nigeria, if governors are still the one appointing the chief justice in their state, Ezekiel, no matter what we do, there's a kind of influence that will still be flow. Can we totally remove it from the presidency in such a way that it's only the National Judicial Council will be appointing the chief justice, even though they are the one that made the recommendation? No, they will make the recommendation to the presidency, and then the day presidency will be the one to appoint, send to the National Assembly for confirmation, come back, and so on and so forth. So until we have that, it is then our charity can be independent.
Now start talking about cause and effect. A layman's definition of cause and effect is what you sow is what you reap.
Exactly.
What you sow is what you reap.
Exactly.
And I wrote down something. It says the law of cause and effect is like a rule of the universe that says every event that happens is a result of a specific cause, which shows our choices and actions, which can lead to certain results. Now, if you bring the law of cause and effect to this equation that we're talking about, you've spoken on behalf of the Nigerian citizen, you've spoken on behalf of those in governance and responsibilities as citizens and responsibilities of those on the democratic rule. If you apply the rule and of cause and effect, how do you think this has affected our development as a people in Nigeria in terms of accountability, transparency, and of course equality?
If you are to try to apply that in terms of maybe accountability, transparency, and maybe inclusion, and so on and so forth, you will see that. Was it 2019 election or 2023 general election, or a particular general election in this country, that some sitting governors did not return back to their offices? Sitting governors. So it's just a kind of what you sow is what you reap. Is that we are watching you. If you don't do it, in the next coming election, forget about going there. For example, in the last general election, I was here. 7 sitting governors lost their senatorial bid. They want money to escape now. That is Lalong now from Plateau State now. Is money to escape now through the Court of Appeal. Now, we are getting there in this country in such a way that after electing you to office, if you fail to do what you promise during your electionary campaign, electorate are waiting for you on the during the ballot in such a way that they will use their ballot to vote you out of office. And that's why you see that most of these governors now, they are on their toes, working day and night. By the time they do this, they tell their citizens that we are doing this. In fact, a particular governor in the south, I don't want to mention his name now, he has developed this kind of media chat with his people. Every 4 months now, he want to have what we call a media chat with, because they know that we've gone beyond that past. This is not 1999. This is not 2003. This is not 2007. That when you are vying for a particular office, whether the electorate will vote or not vote, automatically you are going to win that election. We've moved away from that particular time. That narrative is no more working again. You don't do anything, whether you are a governor. We're in this country, when the sitting president lost his election in Nigeria, in this country, in election, we're in this country where some governors lost their election. So that rule now is playing out in Ondo State in the last election. Some lawmakers now return to Akure because of what they saw in the last 4 years. They read it in 2023. So that thing is coming out, and I want citizens now to start leveraging on that. But you must follow the activities of your leader in such a way that you will not make the wrong choice on the election day.
Is that your final say as we begin to round up? Is that your final say? So
my final say is that citizens must be able to hold their leaders to account in such a way that don't wait for the next 3 years to ask them questions. Keep asking them questions. Engaging your lawmaker, engaging your leader in such a way that they will not have anywhere to hide for you. They know that you are coming for us, and you are coming for us to ask us a question how far we've gone in office. Where if we are still waiting for the next 3.5 years to ask a question, they will have something to pile up to come and give us in the next 4 years what they've done. So citizens, we have a duty bound to ask our lawmakers, our governors, our senators, even the president a question. If you don't ask them, they will not talk. Ask so that you will be given.
We want to thank you so much for coming on the show, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. We've been speaking with our guest, Mr. Sam Olorunfemi, who is a political and social analyst, a journalist, and a man of many parts, where we've been speaking on accountability in leadership in Nigeria, cause and effect. He has said it all. I don't have anything to add to it. Democratic governance entails accountability, it entails transparency, and of course it entails equality. As a Nigerian, where do you fit into this? He has said it: hold your leaders accountable, put aside patriarchy, put aside sentiment, and make sure you ask how, why, when, and where. My name is Anire Binitie. Thanks for being a part of today's show.
You have a great day ahead. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.
Bye for now.